Hey everyone, and welcome back to Salem. In this episode we're going to be going over mining. I said last episode it would be between mining and beaver hunting, but I realized that beaver hunting is very difficult without a sword, and to be honest, I think that cloak and dagger is a little bit difficult to raise without having the locket inspiration which you make through iron, so I decided that we'd do mining first. We can get that iron production going and make some money while we're at it. Now, mining is a little bit expensive to start off, but once you start, you're going to be making a lot of money, and I promise you when I say you're going to be making a good amount of money. So, without further ado, let's jump right into this. The first skill you're going to need is coaling, and what coaling does is it allows you to make charcoal, which is used to fuel your smelter so you can make iron with it. The other skill you're going to want first is also torches. And what torches is self-explanatory. It lets you make torches that you can equip to your hand, your left hand, your offhand, and it'll light up an area around you. So we're going to do that first. Now, I've already gotten most of the supplies I need, so I'm going to go make sharpened sticks. And sharpened sticks are required in the tools. If you go to tools and torch, you will see I need 2 sharpened sticks. So we're going to go to the crafting bench over here, the whittler table, and we're going to make ourselves 2 sharpened sticks. That way we can start off this episode, get it going really quick, because there's going to be a lot to do today. We have a lot on our plate, and you will see I'm going to have to skip a few parts of the video because a lot of the building in this episode will take a while, so I will skip those parts of the video and just show you the basics. So I'm going to equip this torch, and I will show you now. I've made the torch. As you saw, I equipped in my offhand. Now I'll be making the tinder drill, just as if we were lighting a regular fire. So I will make that tinder drill, and you're going to pick up the drill and light it as if you were lighting the fire as usual. Oh, that one broke. Make sure you have a good amount of tinder drills because these things always break. Now, the reason torches are great is, for one thing, they light up an area, so when we go into the mine it's going to be very dark. We're going to need that area to be lit. The other great thing about torches is, if you see, I can take it off, and when I put it back on it lights up again. What that means is that this is still on. I can use this to light things. As you can see, I can click on things. Nothing is able to be lit right now because I have no branches anywhere, but yeah, basically it's a permanent tinder drill until it runs out, and the only way you can refill it is by adding more tinder. So I'm going to just show you. Went back to 100%. Alright, so that's the first main thing. As you can see, I have some charcoal. I made a wood pile before. It's called a coal clamp. So that's what we're going to make next. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So you're going to go to your build and coal clamp. And what a coal clamp is it's basically it is a pile of wood that you light on fire, and after 3 days it turns all the wood into your pile into charcoal. And it starts, I believe, between 45 and 60 default base amount of charcoal, and it has a bonus based on your sparks and embers up to infinite, pretty much, depending on how much sparks and embers you have. So we'll probably have a low bonus, but we'll at least get 40 to 60 from just this coal clamp. So we're going to build that here. And just so you know, you want to build it somewhere out of the way, so that's why I built it in the corner over here, because you can't move it for 3 days once you've you can never move it, really. You have to collect all the coal, but yeah, you can't move it for 3 days since it'll be on fire, and you can't do anything with it unless you destroy it, which you probably won't want to do. So now that I've built this coal clamp, you can see it's here. Nothing is going on with it yet. I can't interact with it. So what I want to do is take out my torch, or if you have a tinder drill, if you don't have a torch yet, light this on fire, and I got a plus 15 bonus, okay? So now you can see I have this coal clamp on fire, and after 3 days real time, all of this pile will turn into charcoal that I can pick up. And the reason you want charcoal is because, like I said before, you use it for smelting iron, and it takes 15 charcoal. So if you think about that, you can make 1 smelting, which makes around 2-3 bars of iron each time. You can make that with 15 charcoal. So if you get about 45 to 60 per clamp, that's about 3 to 4 smelts per clamp that you make. So I'm just going to make 1 right now, but I recommend making between 3 and 4 every time you want to start doing some iron production. So now I'm going to show you the next step. Now that we've had our coal clamp, pretend you already had one. At the time of making this video, you're probably going to make this first and wait 3 days before you even start this process, but always come back to this video and refer to this if you've never done any mining before, okay? So now what you want to do is you're going to want to collect these items. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to actually make these items on your own, the 3 iron bars and the 10 nails that you will need. You will be able to make the leather. If you have learned how to make leather, good for you. I haven't made a tutorial on that yet, but I will eventually, of course. I'm trying to do everything I can. I bought these, I believe they were 30 or 40 silver in the stalls, at the player stalls, which I showed you guys before. These were, I believe, 65, and I think these were 15. You can buy these iron bars and nails at the NPC shop. The bars, I believe, are 200 and the nails are 35. I really highly recommend buying these from player stalls, but if you want to be hardcore, go ahead, buy some at the stalls. If you can't find any, that too. You can always post on the forums saying you're looking for iron, and I'm sure someone will let you know that they're selling. But yeah, I really highly recommend trying to find a player trade for these, because these can get really expensive and hurt the bank. I worked about 2 weeks for the amount that I got, because I haven't had a lot of production in here, you know, just some cotton and Indian feathers, which you can see I have a few savage charms. But other than that, yeah, you're going to have to buy these items. So you will need 3 bars, 10 nails, and 2 leather. The 3 bars are for the smelter, and the 2 leather is for an item we are going to make now, which lets us find a mining area. So you will need, for this part of the video, you will need to go to your skills, and you will need to make sure you have prospecting. What prospecting does is it lets you create an item called a woo-woo wand, and what the woo-woo wand does is it basically points you in the direction of a mining node, and it lets you build a mining a mine entrance on top of that node. So you will need to make sure you find a node near you and build a mine support on it. And it does cost a lot of material, which I've already collected, so I will skip past that part of the video. But for now, let's go make this woo-woo wand. We will need 2 leather for it, which is the reason we have that. So if you go to your tools after you get after you get prospecting, you should see it looks like a stick, or almost like, yeah, like a wand. You need 1 leaf, 1 branch, and 2 leather. So we'll withdraw this leather out of here. Oh, by the way, this chest is just the items I recommended buying. This is not everything you will need, but basically things that you might just want to buy to make it easier on yourself. Especially these, because you obviously can't make these yet. So now that we have our woo-woo wand, we will want to take off everything we own right now. I'm going to have to light this torch again, but I just wanted to show before we did anything how that torch works. You will need both hands free for this, and then we're going to drag this woo-woo wand back into our hands, and you will see it takes both of my hands. Okay, so now what we want to do, this is, you have to really pay attention. If you've never done mining, this is a very important step. You want to go to your inventor tab, and then you'll see the thing that has the dowsing rods. We don't have dowsing rods, we have the woo wand. It's a very similar thing. You click prospect, and you will see an arrow pops up that shows exactly what you want to go to. Okay, so let it orient, and it will find me a mining node any second. So we might have to walk around a bit. Oh, it's pointing us in some random directions. Let's follow it. Let's try to follow. It is pointing us all over the place right now. It's going crazy. You really have to just follow and try to let it orient. If it doesn't orient, you can really just zoom out and try looking on your map. That always works as well. So we're going to zoom out of here and try to find a mining node. Alright everyone, so I found myself a mining node. I had to walk a little bit farther from my personal claim. As you can see, my claim is over in this direction. I walked east about maybe 30 seconds. It's actually not that far. You can always make a pathway for a cart or a sled. But you want to make sure, if you don't have your mine in your personal claim, you have either 2 decisions. If you're not 100% set down, for example, my base, honestly, it's not 100% set down. I can always move that base very easily. I don't have any walls or anything. It's all movable objects for the most part. So if you're not that settled down, you can always relocate to where your mine is. Some people like to prospect before they even settle down like I did. It really doesn't matter all too much. If you guys feel like moving your whole base over here, feel free. If not, what I'm going to do personally is I'm just going to put a personal claim down here just like I have at my personal base. And what it will do is it'll just cover the amount that I want. So I'm just going to probably cover from here. Let's say I pull this out. I'll probably cover from here to here. Something like that. Just a little small area that I can keep my my mine secure. Okay, so what you want to do now is you're going to go to your build menu, your buildings and structures, and mine entrance. You're going to want to shift scroll that so it's even with the pavement, or I guess with the mine node, and left click. You're going to see it requires a lot of material. So I'm going to go collect these materials, and I will be back when I have finished making this. And when you come back, you will see you'll have your own mine, and I will show you what to do from there. Hey everyone, I am back again. I have completed the mine, but before we can go in there and do anything that matters at least, we will definitely want to make a ore smelter first. The reason you want to do this is because there's no reason to mine unless you can make the iron into ore. So the skill you will need for this is, I believe, metallurgy. It's over here, metallurgy. You also need mining in order to mine the ores out. So mining enables you to mine the ores out, and metallurgy allows you to smelt the ores. And I don't know if you noticed before, but I have, I'll show you now, I have a pickaxe. This I also bought from another player at a player stall. I believe it was $450. Some players sell it for $500, $600, but at least try to get $600 for it. If you have to buy it from the NPC shop, it costs, I believe, $700. It's still not bad. $700 is actually fair enough for the pickaxe, but yeah, try to get a deal on that. So the ore smelter we're going to build, it's going to be in build, it's going to be in buildings and structures. You're going to see the ore smelter already. It's metalworking and structures and the ore smelter, okay? So this is going to be let's see here, we want to have a space between our mine, so right here is the space that separates the mine, and it's going to be a 5x4. So let's make a 5x4 right there, 5x4 square. Make sure it's not next to anything, or else it will not be able to be placed. And we're going to rotate this, and that looks just about right. So let's try to put it there. Okay, perfect. Can I use any of this yet? Okay. I can put my hay in there. Okay. So I'm going to start building this now, and I will come back again when I have finished this structure. Alright, so we are back in business. I've finished my smelter, and I've also collected 2 of these lime boulders. What the lime is for is you fill half of the smelter between 12 and 13 lime into that smelter, and it is formed into the iron bars when you mix that with the iron ore. And the reason you need between 12 and 13 is because you can have pretty much any number of either, both ore and lime, but I believe 12 to 13 is the highest percentage yield because it's exactly half. So I recommend using that, whatever is easiest for you. I would say just stick to 12 iron and 13 lime, since lime is a little bit easier to find, and in the beginning you want to use the least amount of iron as possible. So we're going to get right into this. I've already equipped my pickaxe and my torch. I'm going to light my torch again. I've gotten 2 tinner drills in case one breaks. Hopefully, oh yeah, there we go. I already called it. Hopefully don't get too unlucky and get another break, or I'll have to go make another one. Let's see, it looks good, it looks good. Perfect. Alright, so now we can get in that mine. Let's see how it is. Look at it. Beautiful, beautiful mine. Okay, so now what we want to do is we're going to start mining this iron on the wall. So I'm going to zoom in. You see the iron is a silver grayish color, and this other stuff is rubble. And rubble is basically just like a stone boulder. So if you mine rubble, you can actually substitute that for stone into your building recipes. So it's very useful for making walls, pavement, and other basic stone recipes. But that's not what we need right now. We've already gotten lucky and landed right into a nice iron mine. So we won't have to dig for it. If you guys do not see iron at first, I would say pick one spot on the wall and just start mining it. It is safe to mine, I believe, the first few tiles of your mine before a cave-in can happen. But what happens is you will need 2 dry boards, 2 fresh boards, and a nails. So I will show you what that looks like. You'll go to Build, Structures, and Mine Support. And as you can see, it covers about 8 by 8 tiles or so. So if we wanted to put that in the corner right here, it would cover that corner over there. And that's exactly what you need. I think I'll be safe mining this first one. I believe if you do a 1 tile mine like this, you have an almost 0% chance. I've never had a cave-in doing this. I believe it is 0%, but it could be a very, very rare chance that you get a cave-in mining like that. And what a cave-in is it takes about 3 to 5 minutes to occur after you see particles and you hear a very loud sound. And what happens is a lot of basically mine wall pieces, these wall pieces will drop down. And what happens is anything that gets covered by it kind of gets stuck until you can get through to it again. It's not a very fun thing to deal with, so I recommend trying to keep those mine supports in before they happen. Anyway, we will go over that in another episode, but for now, let's get into the actual mining. So we are going to mine this one boulder out, and it takes a lot of phlegm. I'm luckily wearing my mining set, so I won't take as much phlegm out of me. I'm going to put this down, and we're going to start chipping it. I'm going to eat some food. Studied a sunflower. It's okay. Getting some of this ore. For some reason, I don't remember how much ore comes out of one boulder. It's either 10 or 15. Is it 10? Yeah, it was 10. So we're going to need one more. Because like I said, you're going to want 12 of these 12 of these ores. And you will see how that works in a minute. Alright, so we got lucky. We didn't get any cave-ins, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing 2 tiles next to each other without a mine support. You do risk a cave-in when that occurs. We got lucky. I'll take my chances for this episode. Don't feel like building a mine support right now, but I do recommend, since you guys have time, go build that mine support. Don't be lazy like me. Alright, so we're going to fill this smelter halfway with ores. And I actually got 13, so I'm going to take one out. And now I'm going to take my lime boulder out of here. And I'm going to get 13 of these 13 of these lime boulders. There we go. So this might take a minute. So yeah, while I'm mining, basically what you want to do is after you've filled your smelter with half iron and half lime, you're going to want to shift click these charcoal just like you shift click branches into a kiln or into a fire. You use 15 charcoal per smelt. So once we get the charcoal in there, we should be good to go, and I will show you how to finish it off. And that will pretty much end the episode. So let's get into that. So we're going to right click this smelter, drop all that lime in there. And this gauge is the fuel, like most other heatable objects that shows the fuel. So we're going to add our charcoal in here. I'm shift clicking all of it in there. There we go. Use about 15. So now we have our charcoal in there, and we have our ore smelter ready. As you can see, it's 12 iron and 13 lime. That's the maximum percentage chance that we get there. So I'm going to lift my torch up. It's already been lit, and we are going to light our smelter. 45 minutes from now, we should get between 2 and 3 iron bars, and if we get unlucky, we might get 1. But yeah, it pretty much just stacks a percentage. I believe every 100% or something like that is 1. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but yeah, we will get a nice amount of iron from this, and we will just keep doing this every 45 minutes. I'm about to go to sleep in real life, but yeah, as you can see, the smelter's going, and we have made our first iron bar smelter. Alright, so congratulations everyone if this is your first time doing mining. Mining is one of the coolest skills, very profitable and very dynamic. So as you can see, this is the very beginning to our epic journey on the mining side. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching.